Other than that, talked to Hoots today. They've been talking about that pouring that concrete for the pickleball. They're going to do everything.
Oh, okay.
So I just got to talk to Ron and find out a little more about that. And get things moving.
Okay, sounds good. Ordinance committee. We've got a tree board.
So we're gonna have our meeting this coming Thursday at 4 p.m. And me and Jeff met with Josh from DNRC last week. And he said he would be willing to come to the meetings if we choose to invite him. He wants to put in for a grant to do a new tree ordinance for us. And another grant to go towards having a different crew come in and possibly trim trees or remove trees for us.
Okay.
So that's looking good.
Sounds good.
That's all I have.
Rail trail, Roger's not here either, so. Any public comment on the committee reports?
Your rail trail, what, I haven't been down there. Did Kevin do what you guys were asking him to do down there?
Yeah.
Did that get done? Was that a bridge going across to the trail? Is that what?
Yeah, from the depot over the trail. And I think we're gonna put some boards, a couple of the people that were walking their dogs down there said that their toenails were getting stuck in that expanded metal. So I think we're gonna put some boards along the edge or something for the dogs to walk on.
I remember. Yeah, thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, updates on decay ordinance complaints. Discussion of decay ordinance complaints and updates. Discussion on a formal letter being written to someone who is non-compliant. Discussions on steps to take and possible consequences.
I think Robertson must be done for this year. I see his dumpster's gone, and
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen him out there for a while, so I was going to stop him to see what he's up to.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Paul, do you have any update on the situation I brought up across from me?
That's probably what you've got in your hand right there.
That's what we're looking at. Right?
Okay, let me throw this in. I'll give the mayor first. There's been a couple vehicle changes. This is just a couple days ago. I don't know who this vehicle is. I haven't seen a person with it. This white SUV used to be parked up by the fire hydrant, not right up to it, but in front. There's nothing parked in front of the house now, but this is new. I don't know who it is. Got the license plate number in case anybody needs it. Shortly after the last meeting, and I didn't call anybody on it, there was a black Firebird or something that was back and forth a couple times that day. Tage Marmadicus got in and out the passenger side twice, went to the little camper and got back in the car and left, and I haven't seen that car since. So I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if that car belongs
That one was
to
there
there.
before.
That was what?
This one's been there for several weeks.
This just moved here. There was a tan one right over here. If you look at the last pictures, this is brand new. This is blue.
What,
This one's blue. And
what is the concern with this car?
it just showed up the past couple days. I was asked to keep track of activity. That's all I'm doing.
I took this picture 2 weeks ago.
Well, then it left and it came back. Because I watched it pull in.
I wasn't sure whether
Okay.
it had been operating or
But I didn't see the person. I mean, I was going into my house with groceries and I didn't see the person get out and walk, but I saw it coming down the street and the next thing I know it was there. So it's coming and going then.
Okay. That was a question I had, but I wasn't sure.
Sorry. Okay.
No problem. In regards to this, you know that we've got the city attorney involved, we've got the county sanitary involved, and things are going to come together here shortly.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm hoping, and I think Cody's got some more information on it.
Is this a new request, or is this an old?
That's what Cody sent
I
us
think
today.
it's just,
That's the report.
That's, okay, that's a report from Sandy, okay. Because it says complaint at the top.
They're filed under complaints because the sanitarian has to make a complaint to the state. So that is her complaint that she filed with the state as a follow-up to her visit.
Okay, okay, now I understand.
Well, didn't some of the neighbors start getting bed bugs and cockroaches in their houses over there?
Well, Brian sees him on the property, coming close to his house. I wish he was here tonight because he told me the other day that now he's getting the sewer smell in his basement. Not backup, just the smell. And Sunday I saw a peep from the power company in front of Brian's house when I was coming home from somewhere. Brian was out there talking to me, but I don't know if it had anything to do with this or not. I don't know, but Brian was very upset. He must be out of town or something, he'll not be able to come tonight. I wish I knew. But yeah, cockroaches.
Is there some kind of law we can, or the health department can shut these places down?
Mr.
They've
Mayor,
got bed bugs and
permission to
cockroaches.
speak freely and address the council.
yes, go ahead, Cody.
So cockroaches are annoying as they may be, and they are gross and disgusting, but there's nothing we can do about it. Cockroaches are not any kind of an animal that can transmit a disease. So there's nothing that we can do for cockroaches, for bed bugs, for insect infestations. For something to be considered a pest, for the sanitarian to do something about, it would have to be feral cats, raccoons, squirrels, rats, those kind of critters. We would not be able to do anything with an insect.
Hello, Brent.
So,
I've never heard of cockroaches in the last few years in my
That's
opinion.
the computer, it's not you. Oh, they come
Can you
in.
hear?
that's where we stand with any kind of bug.
I'll try my best to
I mean, I
listen
just
as
never
hard as I
heard
can to what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
I'll send you a recording tomorrow too, or Thursday.
No, you from out of state, and
Okay.
brought them with them.
Well, and sometimes they can come in boxes of fruit and different stuff.
So Jack, is this from Cody, is this a complaint or this is?
No, it's her report, the sanitary.
The lady that went over there
report.
with the sheriff.
And I know they're working on coming up with a resolution to this.
I think someone should let the individuals know that Joe will take care of those old washing machines. They don't have to wait to go to the dump. They can take them over there. It's just towards the end there.
I would like to add
But
one,
that's in the sanitarian's report,
Yes,
what she saw.
right, what they said they were gonna do.
Right.
So if that's what they're waiting to do, we could let them know.
That's part of the law.
I would like to add one thing. I called Everett to visit with him about this situation. He said he was waiting to hear from City Hall whether residents were paying for water and sewer.
Well, we've already told Tim
I'm
McKenna.
just letting you know they are not.
Kevin, yeah, I know they're not.
Okay.
We've already
So
told them.
that's theft of services.
Yeah.
Guys, everyone please talk really loud for Brent. Please. Listen really hard, Brent. He didn't hear.
And this is pretty much what I've been hearing, so that's at least checking it out. It does, I can smell it occasionally if the wind's blowing right there.
Cody, how are we gonna tell if he's stopped transporting his sewage?
It's gonna be very tough to tell, but what we're gonna have to do is we have given him the notice that things have to change. It's not just been a suggestion, it's not just been the city saying, hey, you should probably do something different. He has been formally addressed by the county sanitarian and 2 law enforcement officers that things have to change. Once given that, this grace period that we are giving him is out of the sanitarian's goodness of her heart. And from that point forward, once we get our little note from the sanitarian saying, hey, maybe go follow up on this, then we're just gonna have to find out if there's been a toilet installed in the house that is usable. which at that point, we're still gonna be able to continue with the theft of services charge because like he said, there's no payments for water or, sewer.
Yeah.
So unless the water's turned on by that time, then there will not be an approved septic disposal system within the house, and we'll be right here in the same boat. So that's gonna be the easiest way to tell.
What's the grace period code?
So in this complaint, towards the bottom, a note will be sent to the Wheaton County Sheriff and Office of Emergency Services around October 1st, 2024, to see if there have been any further complaints in the transport and sewage stopped.
It says in that the gentleman that answered the door, lived there or something, said he installed an RV dump there on the property?
It said that he did, but
Yeah,
that
they
they
couldn't
did
find
not
it.
see it.
Right.
Just for the record, it's against our city ordinance to install an RV dump.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Julie.
Are you finished with that portion of the decay? So I have a question about the rest of the decay.
Oh, okay.
If you,
Yeah, I think we're done with the Sarah Peck thing.
how,
Sarah Peck.
has the lawyer and the city come up with a letter to go to those that don't live here, that don't see their property's mess? Is there a form letter created yet to send to them with accompanying information that they need to clean it up? I mean, has that happened yet?
I don't know. We built a formula.
It was discussed at the last meeting, wasn't it, that Brent had some form letters he would just use? I thought Brent said at the last meeting that everybody was here.
That he had form letters?
Yeah, he had form letters that we could possibly use if we wanted to
Okay, yeah, I
revamp a little bit.
okay. I didn't realize that.
And
Who are the
so-
ones that you're, that are out of town and got a mess? Do you know?
Well, I can look back and get the addresses that I've noted.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay, I'm not sure which ones you're talking about.
I'm talking just off the top of my head, in between the Old Times Building and
The New Times Building.
the New Times Building.
Yeah.
That property. The property up the hill going toward the golf course, that's on the right, the blue and white house. That property has the grass, 3
Yeah,
feet
it's
high.
pretty tall.
There's several around town, but I'd have to relook at my notes.
The bowling alley.
But we should be sending them to people in town too.
Yes. I guess my question is, where are we moving on any of the ones that we've brought up since spring? When we said that things would happen, and some of them are, and I get it. There's a lot of good things that are happening, but for instance, sorry Kathleen, we drove down by yours again and that truck's still back there. Why don't the kids just have Joe come take that? When it's been a month, she said it was gonna get moved, and it's,
Her husband.
I know who it is.
I'll remind her for the 100th time. I can't go move it.
You can call Joe and have him move it. And as a city councilman, it would be nice to have you guys be an example to the rest of the public.
That's true. And I did give Shane a call too, and I didn't get a call back either. It'll be just another one we'll have to keep calling and asking and trying to find out an answer.
My final say is, that, once people start doing something, it kind of catches on.
Oh, yeah.
It really does. We got some permission from Dennis to get rid of some junk in the trees around us, and he gave us permission, and we took 3 loads out. Well, he and Johnny were there today calling, I mean, they were taking stuff out. Those trees are looking lots better. So it just is the community seems to be getting in gear.
Well, they're picking it up, they're picking up on it, yeah, that's for sure.
And it's nice to see.
It is, it's great to see.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public comment on this? Okay, Cody.
So, prior to the complaint at the 104 D Avenue Northwest address, I spoke to the Central Montana Health District regarding the complaints that the city's received about abandoned buildings or burnt out buildings and attempts to secure those buildings to prevent people from going inside. And I got clarification on what we can do as far as a health risk or a safety risk. And the number one thing that they said is that it's trespassing, not a health risk. As far as a private building that is owned by a private person alongside a street that is burnt out, if somebody enters that property and hurts themselves, they have taken their own liability and their own risk by trespassing on somebody else's private property, and it is not the city or the local government's responsibility to prevent them from doing so.
I kind of thought that's probably what the bottom line was gonna be.
So those buildings can just there.
Where did you get this information, Cody?
Central Montana Health District. Basically, the equivalency would be saying that the rancher right on the side of town has a tractor with a PTO on it, and someone could go in, start his tractor, and hurt themselves with a PTO. Does that mean the city has the right to build a fence around his tractor? The basic offense is it's trespassing. If they're going to trespass on your property, then they're taking their own risk and liability. It's not the city's. Unless it's a city-owned property, and then it's an entirely different discussion.
I guess if we can't get, I guess we got no other recourse, because I mean, nobody's gonna trespass on property to secure stuff, so.
You think some people just have a little bit of pride?
What do you think? Yeah. Yeah, well,
I have a question for Cody. So you'd mentioned the bugs. How about household garbage?
As in, what do you mean?
So the property that's been mentioned several times down on F Avenue, it's an RV park. They've been hoarding their garbage there, and now the dogs are sleeping on it. They're rooting it up. I walk on that street at night with my dog, and it'll take your breath away.
The one by me?
No.
Down
Down on
one
that
is this?
There's flats.
Oh, well, there is.
by the high school
Oh,
bridge.
I'm sure yeah.
No.
No,
Yeah, I do.
across by
Across from
Canberra.
Tambers.
Oh, by Tadbrook?
Across from Tambers.
Oh, yeah.
That's disgusting.
It really stinks.
It
Yeah.
reeks.
And when the wind blows, I pick all that crap out of
And
my
then
yard.
there's also the one by,
So garbage is
You
not the
open
same as
those.
bugs.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a no.
So the garbage is, yes, that you can't have that built up on city property. It is a health risk. It
Well,
is
you got
an
mattresses
additional-
and everything.
It is an additional health risk that there's animals that are residing within it. And that would give the sanitarian a leg to stand on and be able to say,
Was there garbage in the yard on the D Avenue property? Brian said there was garbage bags in the front yard at one time.
There is.
Okay, so my house, across the back side there, I have an apple tree and the raccoons are taking it over, and I usually set a live trap and take them to Frankie's Ranch, but I'm not doing it. I don't want to get bit. 3 nights in a row, there's been 6 to 8 raccoons. And when I turn on my water sprinkler, they go across the street to that place. So they're probably getting into that garbage too. I don't know, but it's a big problem.
That's something we've discussed with.
Yeah, and I know it's my
with the city
problem.
lawyer and with the senator.
Yeah, because coons are filthy, but right, they're gonna be full of my apples, so they're probably looking for a place to use for a bathroom. But I have watched them, they're chasing off that way. They're over town.
So the property across from you is what Bonnie was talking about, and the sanitary can,
I talked to his landlord. he lives in a grain trailer, probably 8 months ago. I mean, he had garbage, and he cleaned it up.
So this guy's renting that lot?
Huh?
This
No,
person's renting the lot?
they just bring back, they got mattresses, they've got everything in there.
But he's a renter on the lot,
I
so
think
that's
it's on
it.
somebody else's property.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's what she's getting at.
yeah.
So we need to contact them.
and I talked to his daughters, they both live in Easton, they come over and talked to me one time, and they want him out of there. It's up to their dad.
So the dad is the one that owns the property?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my point is if they've gotten a sanitarian at Street D, why can't they do it at F,
Mhm.
across from you, and get them taken care of that?
Well, when I talked to the landlord back then, they didn't have a garbage can. So they got a garbage can, but then the garbage truck would drive by and not pick it up because they never paid your garbage bill. I mean, you got a good, hell of a big dumpster that you could fill up from that. I mean, it's just mattresses and boxes and just junk.
Like mice, rats.
So the sanitarian could do the same thing at the Olson's old house then.
Can we get that form letter from Brent?
So the sanitarian
It just like
can do the
Marlene
same
says, it
thing with
just
the records
stains
that are getting
on
on that
windows or
garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Just them dogs never leave the yard.
Can we make sure that we get a form letter or something from Brent that we can use for that, please?
I have it written down.
Okay, any other comment on the decay? Okay, new business, the property the Michael Ford wants to buy. There's a building on city property down there, and nobody knows for sure. Well, Bob and I don't know her, so that's not everybody, but Bob said he doesn't remember seeing it, and there's a building on that property. It'd be the same,
On the north side? West side, I mean.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
That was, I don't know who lives in that house.
If that,
Used to be, Jerry Major's place.
I wonder if Jerry didn't put that in there, did he?
Might have, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would it be something in the clerk and recorder or the recorder's office?
I think it's just a building brought in, I don't think it was built there.
It looks like a building they either brought in or just threw it up on a foundation down there on a slab. I don't know, like I said, I was gonna try to get ahold of Mike today and I spaced it out, didn't get in touch with him. So.
Is anybody even living in that house?
Lexi's investigating it too for sale, so, down at, real estate office.
I'm looking at it on X, and that building has been there for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
I don't know whose it
it
is.
looks like it's on city property.
It is.
Yeah.
Is it
That would be the same
Is
thing
it
as-
Massing?
No.
I think it was on there when I still lived down
That
there.
building that's his, it was here last meeting. Youngsters? And youngster, the building is his, but the property is the county, the city's.
Okay.
I think that building was there when Mrs. Jameson was living there.
Or is someone claiming this building?
It could be, I mean, it's not a new building, it's an old building.
No, I think that was there when Mrs. Jameson was living in there too.
It was.
Was it?
So is it like a city lot?
Actually, what it'd be just about like, that piece that Greg Bird bought on top of the hill. There where AJ living in that, the old boarding house. They bought that, the band that, well, it's supposed to be a street that comes down over the hill,
Oh, okay.
but a little steep to put a road in. And we did sell that property to Greg. Split that.
There was some talk of pipe or something going through that property also.
Well, I'm not sure how far back up the hill the city's got. But there is a conduit there, well, there's a gas line and a culvert in there too. In that same,
I think the city owns all the way up the hill.
do it,
I think it's a city street.
cause I can't
We
remember.
just own past the canal according to Onyx. Then Greg Berg owns at the bottom of the hill up.
He owns at the bottom of the hill.
Above the culvert.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be above the culvert there, yeah. Okay, yeah, and I kinda figured that's the way that was, and then. But I think if Mike wants to move forward on that, then you're gonna have to get it surveyed and everything and find the property corners and that stuff.
I would also maybe mention to him that we would need easements for whatever gas line or anything else there. That
Yeah.
might just make him decide he shouldn't buy it.
I don't think
If there's
no
all
gas
these
line goes on
stipulations.
there. Just a culvert.
I thought there was a gas line in behind your old place down there.
There's a gas line that goes through
Oh,
our property.
over in that field there is, but not on the,
Oh, no.
East side.
Not on the, up by the culvert.
but I haven't had a chance to dig up that. I'll see if I can find that abstract of mine. It says Department of Defense has got something to do with that. They've got an easement in there.
Oh, okay.
I'll see if Sharon knows where it's at. But it kind of surprised me that they were involved.
Yeah, Department of Defense, they won't tell you what it is.
No.
They won't even tell you where.
Well, it might have just be drainage for them too, so. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
could be,
But that should have everything that's on that creek, that abstract.
oh, okay. What does the council want me to do, want me to tell Mike?
I would tell him, like you said, about having to get it surveyed, but then tell him there's also potential for at least one easement, if not more easements that we would need.
Okay,
So that might prevent him from building on that or whatever. I'm not sure what he wants the property for.
I just think he wants just to have that piece to go
I
with
think
his.
I think his son wants to kind of come in there and put a shop in there and,
So that's what I mean, if we gotta dig that culvert up and there's a shop over it.
yeah, Mike, Ty was talking about tearing his house down, building another one or something.
Well, I would tell him that that's what we've got so far, and as we find out more, there might be more.
Okay,
But we had Greg Berg have that surveyed, so we can't really not let him have it surveyed, so.
what's that, Charlie?
We had Mike or Greg Berg have it surveyed for,
Yeah,
so we pretty much have to do the same thing for Mike.
yep. Okay, I will talk to him, if I can catch up with him tomorrow. Is there any public comment on that property? Okay, we'll table that issue until the next council meeting, then I'll find out what Mike says, and then we'll take action on it then. Okay, getting Anita as a signer at the bank. Is there any public comment on that issue?
You need a motion on that? I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to get Anita as a signer at the bank. All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, back on the bulk rate thing. What do you think, Bob? What do you think is right?
Did you talk to, at your board meeting about prices?
No, we were waiting for somebody to call back and let us know exactly what a gallon of water is costing. They were coming back with base rate and price per.
We have our bill. I asked for this bill right here.
I also included what Tanya sent me in your guys' packets, right here.
But didn't Knudsen say they were selling the water cheaper than we were selling?
No, you could buy it cheaper other places than you could.
No, but the same place we're buying it from was gonna sell it to him cheaper than we're getting it.
No.
Let's
He
see.
said he was gonna get it at a base rate of $37.72, Central Montana Regional Water. Actually, he could get it, that's this deal here. $1.50, $2.50 is the usage on it. And he said you can buy 14,000 gallons at $64.22, which is comparable to white salt. Buying it from the same people we buy our water from.
What?
Like sulfur, it's
We get it from Roundup.
Get it from there.
Well, I mean, that's where we get our bill from, I guess.
yeah.
But White Salt doesn't have that.
Well, they have water there.
Oh, that was.
But he said he could buy it at $62 for 1,400 gallons. He said he could buy it from Central Montana Regional Water, and it cost him $64.22. And we're charging 10 cents a gallon, which is costing $1,400. I think the minutes said it'd be $14,000 in the minutes, but it's only $1,400. That's what he could buy it at Arlington for right now.
Right. Well, I asked for this is our bill from the water, here, Central Montana Regional Water. So I don't really know how to read it though. August actual, would this bill be for August then? We think?
Yep. They do like half.
So we
It's like I got-
used 8,490,755 gallons, I think is what we're looking at. And the bill was 39,000. What?
I'm
so glad we got the magic bottle.
If that's the case, how
We're
about,
talking about
That's the
3,000.
low water.
What's that?
if that's true, we went in the
Yeah,
whole
that's
20,000.
Yeah.
20,000.
Because our bill was 20,000 and some change.
Would you guys be wanting somebody to come down and explain it?
This is our bill.
Yeah.
What do you
The
mean it
one I
was
initialed,
20,000?
the one that I initialed was 20,000.
Well, there's a water base at 24,000 and a water usage at 14,900.
Yeah, the usage is 14,000. And then the base rate is,
24,000.
yeah. Isn't that what you got, Frank?
That's what it says here, and then the total is 39,162. So I was just thinking we'd better see the actual. I'm just trying to figure out how much we're actually paying for a gallon of water, so that we can determine what a fair price to set on our water would be for bulk water.
Well, I will ask somebody tomorrow at the board meeting to find out.
Can we not figure it out with that?
Should be able to.
She said we should be able to figure it out with this.
With that?
That's what Tanya told me.
Okay, so
Well, $1.25 for 1,000 gallons is $1.25 a gallon.
1,000 gallons, and we're using how many gallons?
No, this is what we would charge for it, right?
Down here in August is 8 million. Is that right? Is it 8 million?
816, 311, 161,311. And if you do 250 per thousand,
That,
That
I
was
gave it to him in
charging
the
us, or-
packet.
No, but you gave it to me too, but it doesn't say what it is. It's just a graph.
Oh,
that'll be 0.0250, is that what it knows? Three
well,
plates?
that's what they're, yeah.
I was confused. Is that
I was just
what
trying to
we're
do part of
charging?
that.
Yeah, but see, you got your base here, which is
I
infrastructure.
said, can you tell me
Oh,
how
and
much
this is
the
the
price
amount
per
of water.
gallon is? And she
This
said,
is for the water
I'll
usage.
send you a graph.
So you're bound to pay
Exactly what she said.
24,000 no matter
I
what
said,
you
okay,
do.
thanks.
Okay,
It's
that's
how much
for the
water
pipeline.
that you use makes a difference on how big this
Okay, but is that for the
bill.
pipeline?
Yeah,
Okay, so we should have to figure all of that in then.
Everything goes
It's costing us
7,500
that.
but that's why we raised our
That
basic
one's
rate
75
to 100
gallons and all.
1579.
115.79, which to cover that base for them,
Well, water is,
plus our, so it'd be the difference in what's water cost, wouldn't it?
7649.
According to the paper I have up at the shop, our base rate for the residents is 76.42. And $1.75 per thousand.
Yeah, but that's before the sewer's on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just water.
That's just the water. Because it went from 30-something to 70-something. That's infrastructure and everything, then how much water is on top of that? So according to that, it'd be $20,403 roughly on that 8 million gallons of water.
That's,
Yeah, 14,
that's close. to
14,946 just for the water itself.
How much would a 2-inch meter cost?
Roughly 200 a month.
Huh?
200 a month base rate.
No, just a meter. Just buy a meter.
It's he said it's $1.50 per thousand on
$1.75.
After the base rate.
after the
Yeah.
base rate.
I have a breakdown if you need it. Do you want one?
Sure.
So is that, it's costing us 1.75
Do you want to
cents
just
per
table this
gallon?
till you talk to them guys
No,
tomorrow?
per thousand gallons, isn't it?
I think we'll
What sheet?
set our own water.
No,
Okay,
that
we're charging $1.75 per gallon after
Base rate.
the base rate.
one.
Base rate. $115.79 is the billing plus the water on top of that, is $1.75 a gallon.
Per dollar?
Gallon?
No, that's
That
not
can't
right.
be.
That's not right.
That can't be.
That was the
It's-
175.
It's got to be
It's $1.75 per thousand, right?
point of 175.
We're looking at 1.75 cents per gallon.
Yeah, 0.0175 per gallon.
Per 1,000 gallons.
1,000 gallons.
Per 1,000 gallons.
No,
No, that's just per gallon.
Per gallon.
Per gallon.
It's almost 2 cents a gallon.
Oh, so there's actually two different things going on here.
Well, let's see.
We're charging 10 cents a gallon to over at Walmart now, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't see a reason why we can't just leave it there.
if it's costing us less than 2 cents, we don't need to charge that much, do we? And if they're not paying for it, especially because we're charging that much, maybe they'll pay for it if we're not charging. We can't lose on the deal. But if we can make sure that we are actually only paying 2 cents a gallon, then I don't.
That's what we're charging, but we're only giving, we're at 2.5 cents a gallon at this rate. Which doesn't look right. Something's not floating right.
Can I see this, Jen?
Sure.
I mean, whatever's over here, we're missing.
I'm sorry, that's all she sent me.
Well, the consumption rate, it goes up. If you go up to 7,500 gallons or more, it's then $2.50 per thousand.
But is that on an individual basis or on a city
Which would be
basis?
2.5 cents. Right, because the city's using a lot more than that.
So city rate should be less than that.
This is what we're.
If people are buying
This is
individually
what we're
less
charging.
than 4,000, they should only be charged 1.25 cents.
But this is what we're charging people on the meter.
1.25.
That's what we're talking about.
I thought she said that's what we were being billed at. Is this, Sarah?
What?
This
That's,
colored copy, is that what we're getting billed at or what we're billing our customers at?
she said that's what they building us with that. The water thing the water
Bill
bill.
here.
Yep.
Well, that doesn't make sense then, because we're using way more than.
Oh, yeah, way more than that. That's
That many gallons.
7,500 and over. I
That's
think
miles.
we need to have a point of clarification on that because that's not floating right.
Okay,
So see if we can get maybe somebody to come and explain it?
I'd like to ask somebody, one of them, to come to the meeting and explain it to us.
Yeah.
okay.
That'd be all right too.
I'll see if one of them gentlemen would like to do that.
Maybe yours is just zoomed in really. You got the whole thing. You got the whole thing on there. Maybe it's just zoomed in really hard.
It's just.
Well, I think it has to do
We
with
set the
it
rates so
because it
that
shows up
no matter
some
what they
way.
charged us as a city.
Can you zoom out and see if it
they
shows
came
the whole
money, so
thing?
we would probably even.
If I zoom out,
When
it,
we originally were that system.
see, but if I go this way,
Right now, then if we can lower it, we will.
Get somebody here to talk to us about it. Just
Can I
table
make a
it.
comment about the smoke water?
Sure.
I only in June's and Lewistown can understand this formula anyway, but I want to reiterate that I live by your tank. I live by your spigot, and I don't think people are honest.
I know they're not.
Okay, thank you. I think you need to address that issue as well. Fence it, meter it, camera it, sit Charlie up there with a gun, something. And I don't, the people fill at all hours of the day and night.
You drinking again?
And I don't think they're honest about paying. Okay, I'm done.
Right, and
Honestly-
that's gonna happen no matter what we charge for water. If it was a penny a
But when them
gallon,
ring
it's
cameras,
still
with
paying
the
for
doorbell
it.
cameras right there, I put one of them down at the depot, I know exactly what's going on the south side all the time. I mean, you get kinda tired of the ding, ding, ding sometime in the summertime, but it's a cheap, really cheap way of doing it.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's getting pretty bad around here, all the theft of water.
And the hotter it gets and the drier it gets, the worse it's gonna get.
Rain on Thursday.
I know, it's snow on Friday.
Thursday, Friday.
Tomorrow afternoon too, it says, but like,
So I really think you guys need to address that spigot.
Oh, they're
I
handy.
mean,
that's fine, it says smile on your camera. Long as you don't.
you're on camera.
It's good until they sneak 3-4 times and realize they're not on camera.
And they're out there in their Jason mask or something.
Yeah, Julie.
Why is it that this is an issue? Why can't you lock up that and only have it during late daylight hours when a camera works? Why can't it be locked and the spigot not work for them at night? A lock on it. And then you put the camera in and you know who's taking it during the day. You address.
I think there's probably 7 or 8 choices to solve it, and just, I think it needs to be addressed.
Utility theft again.
I mean, we did put a sign up, the pay and the rate, but in my opinion, if you lock it, which believe me, I want to lock it, but if you do, they're just gonna move the problem to a different spigot in town. They'll just go to the park.
Yeah, the ones.
Yeah, they will go to the park.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or the horse ring, or the horse pen.
I still see vehicles down in the water, I don't know.
Oh.
Remind me to talk
I
about
don't want to drive down there,
campers.
but it's
Remind
like
me, campers,
it's
what you
not
thinking?
what it is. That's like,
Okay. Industrial lease. Anybody come up with a really, really good idea for that? That sounds good.
I thought we were gonna go back to the idea of getting out of leasing that property and selling it.
I think that's actually what we ought to do, is just get out of the leasing business. There's a couple pieces that we're gonna have to keep.
Yes.
Okay, I will, talk to Lexi next time or next time I go in there, and, give her a map and tell her to come up with some fair market value on them. And
Yeah, but some of the fair market, when we sold this lot over here for $6,000, this big old bar, we took a screwing on that. I mean, it was worth a lot more than that.
I'm not a real estate agent.
No.
Well, let's see what she has to say.
Yeah, you can accept it or not.
So, is that like the lots that Prima West is on, and like selling that to them instead of?
If they want to buy it, they can buy it. If somebody else wants to buy it, then they'll have to deal with leasing it from a new owner.
And where are we at with Dan?
I don't know, Brent was gonna give us a report tonight, I think, on what was going on. Did you have that stuff on, well, we'll get to that here in a little bit too. Damage lease, is that on the agenda?
Well, industrial leases,
Industrial lease, I guess.
that's what we're on, isn't it?
Through up there. Brent,
Yes.
have you, got any information on that Dempster, lease down there in Industrial Park?
Yes, there's a couple of things. Number one, as you folks know, you do have an ordinance concerning leasing. As I've said before, I'm not quite sure why there is that ordinance in place, but it is in place right at the end of your ordinances online in Chapter 16. In fact, it's the only item under Chapter 16. It has a whole host of requirements, and it was passed around the same time as this lease with Mr. Dempster was approved. I have gone through the lease, and I guess I do have a couple of questions. The lease does require that the property not be used for storage for longer than the first 18 months. In fact, it says cannot be used for mere storage for any period longer than 18 months without the consent of the city. And the other thing is that the lease does require Mr. Dempster to maintain $1 million of liability insurance with the city named as an additional insured, and furnish the city with a policy, with that policy, or at least with an insurance certificate showing the policy in effect. I haven't heard if you folks do have any policy or insurance certificate that shows that is current. And so both of those items would be something that you could either write to Mr. Dempster and give him written notice, which is required under the default section of the lease. And you do have some choices there. You could give him 30 days to comply with those two items. In other words, you've got to use the property as an ongoing business, and you cannot use it as storage for any longer than an 18-month period. Again, I'm not sure why that term was inserted, but that's what the lease says. And then the second thing is he's got to maintain continuously the liability insurance, naming the city as an additional insured, which in any lease agreement of any kind, both private and with a public entity like a city, county, or a state, having that insurance requirement of the lessee who is leasing government-owned property is very common. It would, in fact, it would be unusual that would not be a provision in the lease. The third thing is that you can just simply renegotiate a whole new lease with him and start over again. The mayor had mentioned that nobody has signed the lease. That isn't necessarily fatal to the terms of the lease, but I think it is important. And the lease began in 2011, so essentially almost 14 years ago, March 1st of 2011.
Yeah.
So those are my observations. If he is using that property simply to store vehicles and other equipment, he's not allowed to do that under the lease. And then secondly, if you have not received any ongoing annual evidence that he has maintained and paid for liability insurance, naming the city as an additional insured for that lease, then that is the second main thing that you could send him notice about. So there are other parts of the lease that really aren't worded well, and there are parts that are missing that I would recommend to be included. But that's kind of my short analysis of it, and I'd be happy to put that in the form of a brief memo. But there would be a couple of things, of course, that I would need to know more in depth factually, and that would be the insurance, and then what is he actually doing with the property right now. So I don't want to get too wordy, but that was my analysis of the lease.
Okay.
Is this something we really need to be concerned about if we're going to sell the property? Seems like a lot of steps to go through if we're just going to sell it to
I think
them.
what you could simply do is indicate that you're going to be selling the property at some point if you desire to do that, and give him notice that you're going to do that. But I think also these two items, it's up to you. Like most leases, this has a section towards the end, I believe it's the next to last page, that talks about, is entitled non-waiver of defaults. And basically what that means is simply because you didn't enforce something in the past doesn't mean you waive the right to enforce it in the future. So certainly you can require him to start using this as an actual ongoing business, and also to provide that insurance that I mentioned to you folks. The other thing you could simply do is just to give him notice that at some point you're going to put the property up for sale, and upon its sale, then the lease would either have to be negotiated with the subsequent owner, the new owner of the property, because it does say towards the end of the lease that the provisions of the agreement shall apply to the heirs, successors, et cetera, et cetera. So again, this wasn't the greatest document. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or say that I am an expert on leases, but there are several things that could have been stated more clearly. But if the city does want to sell the property, I think the future owner would likely need to be advised that this lease is outstanding, and then it would be up to that new owner, if it purchased the property from the city, to renegotiate a lease with Mr. Dempster.
Okay, that sounds good.
So if I need to do anything further, I'd be happy to put this in the form of an email or a memo. And then if you folks do decide you would like to sell the property, obviously it would need to be appraised and a few things like that. But let me know what I can or should be doing.
Okay, we'll do that. Thanks, Brent.
You bet.
Okay, is there any other public comment on the industrial leases? Okay, moving on. Contract with the League of Cities and Towns. This is for Jody Rogers, not to be confused with Jody Campbell. Jody Rogers is going to do our AFR for us this year. Bob had kind of left us high and dry since he was not doing it.
This AFR is the annual fiscal review. Is that what it is, annual fiscal review?
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if this is replacing what we approved sometime back.
No, this is a different person.
Different person, different.
Yep, different.
One does finance and one does.
Different contract with the same company, or same outfit.
Okay.
I have a request or a question or a comment or something.
Okay.
I'm gonna need for the audit to be inserted into the court books, some kind of note from the League of Cities and Towns that you guys authorized Jody to take that money, and we went 3 weeks with money waffling around in
Oh, I closed that account, eh?
place in the city court account.
Yeah.
So for the city court audit for our books, I will need something that says that either the League of Cities and Towns did it, or you guys did it, or you authorized the League of Cities and Towns to do it, some kind of formal letter
Okay.
that can go into the books.
When do you need that by?
Whenever you get audited again, I
Okay.
still want you to forget about it.
Okay.
You won't let us do that.
Huh?
No.
That would be the
Okay.
council that approved it.
Yeah, we almost got it figured out. We got our new checks and our new stamp today and almost are back up and running. They closed me out today.
Very good.
So, 2 months later.
Okay, I would entertain a motion on the agreement for financial services with Montana League of Cities.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to go ahead with the agreement for financial services with the League of Cities and Towns. All in favor? Opposed?
Won't be nice when this is all done.
Motion
Can I
carried.
ask what that contract, how much that contract is for? The cost?
This one is $65 an hour and pay the actual cost for travel, lodging, and meals.
Okay.
65?
65. And I told them the same question. I said, I thought this was 50 when we started. She said, well, it was, but it cost of living. $15 an hour?
Well, you said Magda? Is
Yeah.
that the kind of?
She's the one.
Well,
Yeah.
the year before I retired, we paid Magda between $5,000 and $6,000.
Yeah, for do the same thing.
Yeah.
The distance by the hour.
Okay.
Can I ask one more question about the city of League of Towns? Are you guys not part of it anymore? You're not paying dues to it anymore?
To what?
To the League of Cities and Towns?
Yeah.
We are still a member,
It just
correct?
seems like some pieces of that should have been free. Some pieces of the mentorship should have been free, but
Oh, you mean like a membership to League of Cities?
Right, yeah. Are you no longer members of the League of Cities and Towns? Is that what has maybe changed?
We are members.
We're our members. but
We
I
get
don't
all the
know.
member perks, but to get training and stuff, you have to pay
Right,
their wages.
I did some of that. I do, because like Mako's the same way for the counties. But it just seems like.
These are two new jobs to go around and help these cities.
Right, yeah, I know. Mako has the same thing for the counties, and my association has the same thing for the county superintendents. That's, just seems like some pieces of it used to be free.
Jody did do a lot of work for free for us. She did. She put in a lot of hours.
As far as I'm concerned.
She put in a lot of hours, did a lot of stuff.
Okay, moving on to number 6. Steps to take to how to get people to pay past due and old bills.
Are we adding interest on them bills that aren't paid?
Do we have what?
Are we adding interest every month?
I don't believe so.
Can I ask a question? Because this is new to me. Are these old bills, people that currently have water services? And they
No,
have
water
outstanding
service.
balances,
Biggest majority of the water's been shut off and severed.
and they just left past due balance?
Yep, they just left.
How about, okay, they don't live here anymore, I was gonna say you can file a lien on their property, but
Well, I
how about
think,
renters?
I think about the only thing we can do is go to small claims court.
And bill transfers with ownership though.
And you can go to small claims court for free, as the municipality into the city court.
Yeah.
It has happened in the past.
How delinquent are they?
Uh,
Well, there's about $3,700 is quite a,
I saw the list, I didn't see the dates of when they,
Oh, well, some of these are years old.
Really?
The Cheryl Peck one, that's been when you shut the water off. How long was that?
January of 2022.
Yeah, so.
Are some of the people deceased? Or do you
Elizabeth
know?
through our guy, but she
They were
passed
on
away a
this
while
stuff.
ago. It's been a while.
What's that,
Some of
Charlie?
Well,
these.
Cheryl Peck is
Census,
deceased, and
the
we're still
name of
working
the
on that
people.
elder issue with them, and that's
Thought
part
you
of what the lawyer and sanitation's doing anyway. There's one for Elizabeth Rourke, who passed away some time ago. I understand that the entity that owns the property is now going to try to sell. So I wasn't sure how that was gonna work with.
well, when I got a hold of them for the yard, they contracted someone and they've been keeping up on that. I wonder if we just need to contact them and say the water bill is delinquent this much and
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
there's
then.
numbers on the windows and doors, who to get a hold of. It's,
And you can always, because I worked in real estate for years, you can always take that bill, if you know the title insurance company that's gonna do the closing, and you can present it prior to closing, and it could be a stipulation,
it
has to be
transfers
paid
with
for with
ownership.
proceeds of the sale. We had that happen a lot.
It
what-
trans-
that's
it
what
ju-
we do.
It does, it's set up that way.
Okay, okay.
But still, they will probably pay it voluntarily. If we get a
Yeah,
hold of
Mayor,
them.
Mayor, when it's appropriate, you have a little bit of information on this.
okay?
I did, when I talked to you, Mayor, I mentioned that either small claims, and it did have some drawbacks, or submitting these to a collection company. In Billings, what they do is they recognize that small claims is cumbersome, probably would take a time to find a checking or savings account or some asset that could be utilized to pay the past due bill, assuming you get a court order showing that the bill is past due and owed to the city. What the city of Billings does, and I suspect several of the other cities, they contract with a collection company who typically will look at the past due amounts, what kind of bill it is, and I'm assuming this list here of these 5 individuals or 5 bills or service locations are water bills. The collection company would look at it and decide if they wanted to pursue some or all of them. You would enter into a contract, and typically, even though it sounds like a lot of money, the collection company would end up paying the city basically 50% of these bills, and then pursue the collection itself. And the reason that is so high is because most collection companies will tell you that the risk that they're taking of getting that additional 50% can be variable and can take a shorter period of time or a long period of time. So I did talk to what is called the distribution supervisor in Billings, and he did let me know that that's what they do in Billings. Instead of going the small claims route, what they simply do is enter into a contract with the collection company, and that would be something that you could consider. Now, one other thing that you may run into is that a collection company may view this amount as not worth their time to go after it. At one point, I thought somebody had mentioned there was about $15,000 worth of past due bills, but here, as the mayor indicated, I added it up quickly earlier today, it's about $3,800.
Yeah.
But certainly, I did leave a voicemail for the staff member of the city of Billings who can send me the contract and explain to me further how they do it. But that's the high altitude explanation of how they do it in Billings, and that would be the two choices that I see in the small claims. You'd get what we call a judgment, a civil judgment, and then you would have to execute on that judgment by going to a bank or find some other asset that you could readily sell and satisfy the judgment, or turn these over to a collection company. Quite frankly, I think the collection company route would be the best, but that's kind of the high altitude summary.
Okay.
Can I say, I would respectfully disagree with Brent. You know your city court clerk, you pay her, you know your law enforcement, which would serve them, and you know everybody that lives here. That's a way bigger difference than selling half your debt to a collection company in Billings, because those people don't know those people in Billings.
Exactly.
You will run into some things, if it's Social Security debt, I mean, if it's elderly living on Social Security, you're not going to be able to collect it. But neither is CBB collections in Billings, because you cannot attach Social Security wages. So there's some tweaky things to it, but you get all of those services for free here, and you don't have to sell half your debt.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well,
I also would be concerned about getting ourselves in a pickle, because in years past, we've always put it on to the new owner if they bought the property. If we change that, we're gonna get rebuttal to the ones that we made pay.
We're not changing anything, we're just looking for a judgment.
If we send them to collections, we changed it.
Oh, I thought you were talking
yeah.
about taking them to small claims.
No.
Yeah, you did. If you
No,
sell your debt.
I don't think we should do collections.
Billings is different because they don't know it. If there's 100,000 people down there, they don't know anybody.
I
I
talked to
mean,
Charlie
that's
Church, and he said
the
he
way
was
they
like,
have to do it. Their
Yeah.
municipal court is not
I understand
understanding
that
that.
Shelley did.
I don't know
But it's-
if we could talk to him. I talked to
That way.
Jody about it. If we could get Shelley to sign it over for $300 or some bucks and be done with it.
okay.
And she said this, maybe the county would waive the taxes on it.
Pursue a different avenue for that instead of collection, for sure.
Do you mind if I look at them? Do you have a list?
I do.
I'll tell you right now who you can do and who you can't.
So the one, I think, if they are just aware that there's an outstanding balance due, they'll take care of it.
And you said the phone number's on the
It's a
house
Wells
there?
Fargo.
I'm still sending out bills. If you're talking about the Braunheim, the Ruark one, still
Yes.
sending them the bills
To who?
to the Braunheim.
Okay, I don't think Barb cares about that. It's, this was,
Oh, that's the only address I have.
okay. That's all I'm saying is if we get a hold of,
And you said there's phone numbers on the house itself?
yes, there's saying if there's any issue with maintenance or any of that. And when I got a hold of them, they didn't know who to send me to, but they found out, they called me back. And since then, there's not been any sort of maintenance that hasn't been done. So they're paying for that to happen. I've seen Todd and his crew out there. I already forgot the name of the bank that said it was. but
Wells Fargo?
Yes, I believe that's what it was. It might have been out of North Dakota or something, but there's information on those windows.
Yeah, like, you're right, the top two people are deceased, and so that's gonna be a different avenue than just straight small claims. I don't know, 502 North Central is up by me, I don't know who that is. I don't know who DC Miller is, Bob.
It's the White House, blue trim, just south of the stone house on the corner.
That's
Oh, they
what
had
we were
water turned
talking
on there?
No,
I never have
no,
known.
it's been shut off for non-payment or severed, but
But,
there's still
yeah.
a past due on it.
Really,
When
truly,
he
I never
first-
knew anybody ever lived
When he
there.
first purchased it,
He did have it
lived
on?
there for
Oh.
a very short time.
Really? Yeah.
So do we even have a way of getting a hold of
Yeah,
that
I-
individual?
yeah,
We do have
that-
his
That would be,
address in like
Okay.
Wink River.
he's paying his taxes, so look on the cadastral.
Okay.
And you could, the Times building, both of those people you could get money out of. And Chance Miller is probably, is a maybe, It's a pretty strong maybe. You could walk over and, sweep his till. Which is cruel, I get that,
We're
it's
not-
cruel,
we're
but
not
that,
gonna
it's
do-
legal.
I think
can
if we,
sweep the
I
till.
think if we do small claims, that there will be plenty of people looking to come up with a payment option. In which case,
It usually
why
is.
would we not accept that?
Yeah,
We do accept
usually-
payment
Usually if you take
Yes.
them to court, they figure
So
it out.
I think that's the best way to go.
I think that's what we should do.
Would we get hold of Shelley and ask her?
So do you guys want us to just get a hold of them and ask them to come up with
Yeah.
letters and then see if they want to work out payment plans?
Yeah, they could, yeah, if they want to work out a payment plan, otherwise we're gonna have to,
Send
even
it
if we
to
go to
small
small
claims.
claims though, if they're gonna come in and make payments, we should accept the payments.
And if you go to small claims and you get a judgment, you can get a stipulated judgment that tells them the days they have to make their payments.
Stipulated judgment. Cool.
There's, your boss just did it. With two of his cases. And that way the court is holding it over their head with their payments are due on the 10th.
But we should be putting interest on them every month. Everybody else does.
They do, but I mean, if they're not paying because they don't have any money,
But we're still a business.
we're not really a business.
Yes, we are.
Somewhat.
We sell water, we get money.
And if we get our money, we should be happy with that. I would think.
10, 15 years later,
I don't know. Maybe we should have done something before it got to 10 or 15 years.
Okay, moving on. Report of the Public Works Director.
Been trimming trees, fixing potholes, working on our lead inventory. I met with the hospital, well, the cop today. Utilities are in as far as the city's side. They're getting pavement tomorrow. We're supposed to do a pre-walk around inspection next week, and then a final inspection in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
That's all I have.
And your letter?
Oh, yes. So we received a letter from some people that were staying at one of the RV campsites. They watched an individual drop off their dog and went to the bathroom and they just hopped back in the truck and left. But I can honestly tell you 5 to 10 people here in town that do that every day. And we do we give free bags down there to pick up after your dogs, but people just don't do it.
Jack Barnard brought that up a long time ago.
Yeah.
They take them to the same spot every time.
They kick them out in the morning and let them run and pick them back up at the other end.
But if you know who it is, scoop it up, take it, throw it in their yard.
about that, if I could. In the city of Sioux Falls, and you're not there, I get it, but my stepson had to give a DNA sample of his dog's poop.
Oh my gosh.
At the apartment complex. So during the winter, those people that don't go out and take care of them, they take them, they sample them, and they find those owners of those
Oh
apartments.
my God.
Oh, I love it.
Patrol that.
You don't have to control, you just pick up the dog poop that's there, and you got the.
That's hilarious.
$100.
That's
He's
great.
ready to put the boxes in the crime lab.
Oh my gosh, that's wildly crazy.
That is crazy.
People, yeah, if people won't take care of business,
Okay, report of the clerk treasurer.
So, do we need to finish this one? Are we gonna do something about it?
What's that?
The
The
dog
dog
pooping
poop.
in the park.
Is that the letter from them people that was standing in the park?
Yep.
Yeah.
I read that, but
You know, it's a very nice letter. It's too bad they couldn't give us a license number. The people are, they know we won't do nothing, so they just don't care. Just like these bills and anything else.
We have to be able to prove that somebody did it.
Huh?
It's pretty easy to get pictures. I see it every morning. when I
Okay.
do my rounds. Even if we just put it out to the public that you know, warn them first. I mean, the biggest thing, we have a leash law in this town, but they think they can just kick them out. Don't take them down there, you don't have to clean your yard.
Ugh. That's not right.
So do you want me to just put a,
Well, that's up to the council on this.
let's, yeah, start taking some pictures of people down there that are doing stuff. Maybe you can catch that other lady over there putting garbage in the dumpster.
I think we should have a meeting with the sheriff's department, the commissioners, us, and figure out what we need in the rodeo committee and stuff. And figure out what we need for cameras and put them in there and start documenting this stuff.
You know, that all sounds good, but I don't know how in the heck we could protect the cameras.
Mr. Mayor, I've done extensive research on safety camera and surveillance systems recently on behalf of the county. And I'm going to put out right now that there is a plan set for county property down there, but there seems to be quite a divided line between county and city property at the moment down there. You're going to be looking at a minimum of $9,000 to $15,000 in order to get any kind of a security system down there that will be capable of picking up a license plate or detecting what someone's doing, as well as have off-site monitoring to be able to record any footage and access it in a timely manner.
But we
So
got-
that would be a pretty hefty
9 and
expense
15 for our portion of it?
for just a camera. The cameras that most local governments use for surveillance of a large area like that, they have to be an outdoor camera, they have to have a cellular device or a Wi-Fi connection in order to be able to get back to a server. Otherwise, the only way you'll be able to access your footage is by going to it and plugging a USB drive in. So that would be a pretty hefty cost. I think there might be some possible better solutions than looking for a camera to watch for dogs pooping in the grass.
Not just a dog, kids up on top of the gazebo down there ripping the shingles off.
Yeah, and garbage and,
I mean,
I just thought, sorry, I didn't mean to
Well,
step on
the-
any toes. I just was saying that it's gonna be a pretty hefty bill to be able to go that route.
but the pool cameras were $9,000.
can I ask a question? Does the city receive money from the College Foundation?
Yes.
I don't know how much they do.
Well,
but
we could put in
they
for
ask.
cameras.
could they
That would be
earmark
separate.
some of that for this purpose? I don't know, I think Larry would love to do that.
But I mean, there's a bunch of kids around there just going around tearing the place apart. We've lost a window down the depot, that was $1,500. They ripped the receiver right off the building. I mean, I don't know what that's gonna cost, it ain't been fixed yet, but it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is, it's crazy.
Like I told the sheriff's department, we have enough room for like 16 more cameras on our depot. If they pay for the installation of the cameras, we've got the Wi-Fi and stuff, they go right in there and watch them. You know, you can watch that whole, a lot of that railroad property down there.
A lot of people do not know that that's happened. And I, for one, as a taxpayer, would, if I read it somewhere, if you posted a picture of the damage and said, do you realize, taxpayers, that this has been damaged by someone in our community? So if you see something, say something to your local police or something. But most people don't know this has happened, and
But-
that you're dealing with it.
Yeah.
They look at somebody doing something and they just go, well, it's not my business, and just go on. Some people do that.
I was talking to Adam Jones down at the pool this summer, and he said they went up in the announcer's booth in the fairgrounds and tore it all apart. Someone carved was it a rock out of the chimney of the fireplace down in the park? People can't see that. I mean,
I'll go
you
there.
have to sit up there
down
and
there.
chip on that for a hell of a long time to knock a rock out of there.
I don't know, but I think you could get something on social media, or you can get something in the paper that says, this is your town too. If you see somebody trying to damage, say something to the local police. Otherwise, you know, we end up with a mess. I don't know what the answer is, but.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just,
Well, and I wonder if, and I work with those guys, and I'm not gonna complain about them, but yes, I am, I guess. When we were kids, the cops patrolled the street. We've sat here now for 2 hours, there hasn't been a cop gone down the street yet.
And we didn't have very many cops back then.
You know, I mean, it just seems like we could use a little patrolling around the streets, maybe, possibly.
Well, I always see people down there, and like I said, I'm not just gonna be the one to run to the phone and, oh, I see headlights down there, but now I'm starting to wonder, is this what I'm seeing? You know, vandals, because I jump in the car, go down there, take pictures, but.
Yeah, well, the deputies didn't have any problem stopping you when you were using the
Oh,
rest
yeah,
area
yeah,
down there.
yeah, that's right.
But yeah, they
shows
made
that they
sure
go
they
down.
caught you down.
That means they did go down there.
What?
That means they did go down there.
They followed me down Main Street. No, one did, and then they called for backup.
Oh my God.
Just because I had to go to the bathroom because I had no sewer. At 10:30 on a Sunday.
It's not a good time to go back.
It isn't just police, it's the public taking an interest in their community and saying something.
Yeah.
And saying something, if you know, if you're comfortable saying it to the person, then go to the police, but I have no problem walking up to somebody and telling them to pick up the frickin' litter, or, you know, get out of the litter, or quit scratching your initials and something, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and the thing about taking it to the sheriff's office, if you haven't got a picture of somebody doing something, they're not gonna do anything about it.
how many times they tear that bathroom
I saw
apart?
this guy do this, and, well, you're wording up his.
How are we gonna control it if we don't have, we have the leash law, but we don't have anybody, the code enforcer, or whatever to enforce it? We don't have animal control. Because I've been in meetings about that before, about the cats. So how, what do we do? Yeah, I mean, take a picture, if you see the owner chasing the dog or whatever, see it dumped, they don't pick it up, you take a picture of the person, and they file something against you for taking a picture. You know, I don't want somebody shooting at me because I'm taking a picture.
There's no expectation of privacy in a public place.
Okay. Okay.
Just always sit right around.
I wish I could.
Okay.
Are you done with your report? You done with your report? Report of the clerk treasurer.
I've been working with Jody on the programs to learn those. I did find out that the stalls were put in down there after the new arena was built. So now I've got more of a timeline of when to look for it. For the issue from, you were asking about liability and stuff, I found that much about it today. So I'll keep looking on that. And then there's a municipal government class that I need to take for continuing education for the treasurer. And just want to know if you guys care if I take it. It costs $50.
Go ahead, take it.
I would say yes. You're our new clerk. Okay, I think that's awesome. I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Council is supposed to vote and approve on department heads. That is all. Just we're supposed to do that. They had us do that for Sarah. It's been being overlooked quite a few times. I think that we probably formally should take care of that and do that properly. It's not on the agenda. Can we put it on the agenda next meeting? Sorry to interrupt.
No,
No, that's fine.
yeah.
I completely forgot about that, Frank. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Even the salary and wages changes have to be approved, because it does require a budget amendment.
Yep.
So that should be coming to us so we can ward off ahead of time.
That'd be great. And like I
Yes,
said,
it will.
I'm super
It'll
happy
be
that
here
you're
by the next council meeting. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, and you're gonna check into that grant for your school?
Yeah, that's the class that's in May, there's a scholarship for that. This is just one that they recommended Sarah take and recommend that I take.
Okay. This is just on the computer?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep, just online.
Okay. Okay. Report of the mayor. We kind of ran into a little bit of a one-line bind here. Last month was our water bill from Central Montana. They emailed it to us, and we just overlooked it. We missed it. And
We didn't have a meeting.
Huh?
We didn't have a meeting, is why it didn't get approved.
Oh, that's right. We didn't have a meeting.
Did we have an approval?
But and they usually
can't
come in,
do it.
well, we just got the one that you were talking, you were checking, you were looking at, just got it dated for yesterday.
Okay.
So sometimes it comes after the council meeting. And then by the time we get to the next council meeting, then we're running late on getting in. With council's permission, I would like the girls to, when they get that water bill, to go ahead and pay it, and then it will be on the claims for the next council meeting. So we can get in line and get it caught between meetings when we can't get it approved.
Well, Jody said that we do that. That's legal. You just put it in the next,
Yeah,
council
I wanted the council to know about it,
Yeah.
what we were doing. I didn't want to just go ahead and tell them, yeah, when that check comes in, make it out, get it in the mail.
And that'll just be for the water bill?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only one we're running into with the line, and like I said, it was just because we didn't have a meeting that month. Yeah.
Will it be marked in the claims as paid? And just
What's that?
will it be marked as paid and just needs approval after the fact?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause it'll have the check number and everything on there,
It'll be
so,
on the
okay.
claims, but it'll still need the council approval, it'll be already.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. That's all I have. Brett, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, one thing, and that is that we did receive, I believe it was Sarah, you, Mayor, and myself did receive updated email on August 29th from Lois Walker of Civic Plus Municode. She sent us a list of ordinances that she wants us to confirm, and then also sent us several sections that she shows is missing, and I think Sarah are working on that, and if I need to come down and help out on that, I'm more than happy to do that. But I think for the moment anyway, the ball's in our court to look at that August 29th email and then respond back to Lois Walker, and thereafter will likely send on to the attorney that's actually going to be handling it, any of the information she's gathered and what we send her as well.
Okay. You got that?
And so if I need to set an afternoon to come down and help out with Anita and Sarah, I can certainly do that. You know, we could maybe do it on a Wednesday when the office isn't open, something like that. So you guys let me know, and I'm more than happy to help.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you
And
very
that's
much. Okay, we don't have anybody from the sheriff's office tonight, unless Cody wants to fill in.
I haven't even worked there. I can give you an update on my department if you'd like, but not theirs.
Okay, is there any public comment on the above reports that we just gave? Is there any public comment on items that are not on the agenda? Okay, is there any items for the next meeting? I think we've got a little bit of a list going already. Okay, everybody get a chance to look over the claims.
Make a motion, we approve the claims.
Second. Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded to approve the claims and get them paid. All in favor? Opposed? Motion
Got a
passes.
sign on it too. Got a sign on
Thank
it.
you very much, ladies and
You're supposed to be
gentlemen.
signing, you guys are all supposed to be signing on the claims when we okay them.
No, we do.
Yep.
Wouldn't want to start doing things legally, would we?
You go talk to Jody then.
What's the date anyway?
The 10th.
We can use
Good stuff.
Great, thanks,
Oh, thanks, Brent.
Don't leave. You have to sign this.
Okay, that sounds good. I won't be in the office tomorrow, but I will be